time to talk about tropes. So as you can see, I'm in like a different position this time. You can actually see my poster. You can see my mini ears. You can see everything in the background. I decided that I wanted to film this video standing up, so we're gonna do that right now. So basically, I took my journal and I wrote down a bunch of tropes that I really like. I am gonna title this 10 tropes that I love, but it's probably more around like 12 to 14 tropes. And for me, I love tropes. I have nothing against tropes, and it's really all about how they're done. I feel like when people are like, I don't like tropes, they mean to say, I don't like cliches. And those are totally different. Tropes can be done really, really well, or they can be done super cliched. There are a lot of tropes where I hate if they're done in a certain way, and it just totally kills it for me. But there are a bunch of tropes where I just love them unconditionally. But even some on this list are ones that I just like, if they're done a certain way, I cannot read that book. It's just not gonna happen. So I think the first trope is like super obvious as to the one that I like love the most. None of the tropes are in order, but this is definitely like my top tier trope, and that is hate to love. I love hate to love relationships. Anything that is like they're enemies at first, and then throughout the story, not in the first 100 pages, I've talked about this multiple times, I don't like super quick like hate to love tropes where it's like in the first 100 pages it's already resolved and everything's fine. No. Hate to love needs to be slow burn, which is another trope on this list that I love, but I'll talk about that later. However, hate to love needs to be slow burn. It needs to last either the entire book or throughout the series it needs to be resolved. It cannot be resolved in the first 100 pages and have it be like hate to love. No, that's not it. And also hate to love is not about miscommunication or a misunderstanding. It's literally like an intrinsic difference in either values or a difference in a goal or whatever, like anything, or an outcome, like a difference in outcome, difference in goal, difference in beliefs or whatever. That's hate to love, not a misunderstanding. There's no misunderstanding. Also, I made tea because I knew I was going to be sipping on that tea in this video. Also, as like a sub-genre of that trope, or I guess a sub-trope, would be villain and hero like relationship. I love those. I love them so much. They are my jam. I don't have enough of those. I need more. Or even just like, even if it's like a villain anti-hero or villain-villain relationship where it's still hate to love. Perfect, top tier, like literally amazing. The next one I love is hidden identities. I don't know why I really love hidden identities. This one kind of is more of like a misunderstanding, like it can be, or it's just like these people just are so dumb and they just do not know who each other is. Like it just does not click in their brains. I love that. I don't know why, I just think it's so cute. One of the books I read recently, Sometime After Midnight, has this trope, and let me tell you, top tier. It was amazing. I love the book, and it like worked so perfectly. And also as like a sub-trope for this one as well, I put hidden royal, because I feel like that's also kind of hidden identities. Like the rest of the people in the book don't know that the main character is royalty. I love that. I love that trope. Give it to me. Or even the other way around, where it's like a hidden regular person. Like a Prince and the Pauper situation. I love Prince and the Pauper, so it's like, that's perfect. Give me any sort of book that has that trope and I will eat it up. It's gonna be amazing. The next one is a little controversial because a lot of people say they don't like this trope, and I totally get it. However, I love love triangles. I also have a video that I made about love triangles quite a while ago. If I can find it, I'll link it, but you never know. But I love love triangles. I don't know why, they're just my jam. I love them. They always work for, well, not always, but most of the time, I would say like 80% of the time, maybe 70% of the time, they work for me, and I love them. I think to this day, my favorite love triangle is the one in Shatter Me. I know, sue me, I'm basic, but I love the Shatter Me love triangle. It's literally perfect. I love Adam, Juliet, Warner, that entire like, whoop, perfect to me, literally perfect. I hate Adam, I love Warner, however, the triangle, amazing, cannot be beat. Also, one love triangle that needs to be polyamorous, clearly the frickin' Infernal Devices trilogy, Will, Tessa, and Jem, polyamorous. You can't. And you may ask, you can't what? You can't convince me that they're not polyamorous. You cannot. Also, I know I keep saying subtrope because literally this entire page is filled with like subtrope, you know, literally arrows everywhere. But when the main character in that love triangle falls in love with the second love interest, amazing. Literally amazing. You cannot beat it because literally the second love interest is almost always superior. Almost always. Like if we're talking about John Ambrose in the To All the Boys I Loved Before trilogy, or we're talking about Warner in the Shatter Me trilogy, the second love interest is always the best one. Almost always. Another trope that I love is like the asshole character who is also super soft, especially if they're soft for like either their sibling. I love that. Oh, I love that. That happens in And I Darken. Like Lotta is like a total asshole, but she loves her brother so much. She loves him so much, and it's just like, it gets me. Like it makes their interactions so much more emotional. It really heightens like the emotional value of their relationship and of the book and of that character in general. It's just like, it works so perfectly. I don't know, it's amazing. It's just like, I love when a character who is always mean to people and like so tough and like, I don't give a fuck, like I'm, you know, whatever, but then they have like that one person, either their sibling, love interest, parent, or just like random person who they're just so soft with and just so loving and caring with, even if it's not in like a super stereotypical loving and caring way. Because in like And I Darken, Lotta isn't necessarily like warm and fuzzy towards her brother, but she has a like very special connection with him and like a very special fondness towards him, and it's just so beautifully done. It's so subtle, but it's so poignant and it just works. The next one is like a tragic dark past. I love that, but I feel like the caveat here is I don't really like a tragic dark past when it's used to like make their bad actions okay. I don't like that. We're not going to do that in this household. If you're going to make a villain, make them a fucking villain. Don't try to wuss out on me and give them a like redemption arc. Some redemption arcs work. Some of them do, and I will totally admit that. However, I will also admit that a lot, like the majority of redemption arcs, do not work for me. I would much rather watch someone turn into a villain than watch them not be a villain anymore. I love villains. I am a villain hoe. I will totally admit that, and I will wear that with pride. But I don't want their actions to be like, oh, it's okay because they were like abused as a kid. Like, no, that does not make it okay. We don't have to like justify every action that a villain does. You can justify it in a way that like it's justified to them, to that character, but you can't justify it to me. You can't justify it to the other heroes. I don't care. Give me a villain or give me nothing. However, like I said, some redemption arcs work. Sometimes it works, but I really like a villain who's a villain. The next one kind of go together a little bit. Family drama and dead parents. I love those. I know. Dead parents especially are super cliche. It's kind of, you know, run its course a little bit, but hey, I love dead parents for some reason. I don't know why. It just works. Both of them do not have to be dead. You can have one living parent and one dead parent and it works totally fine for me. Especially like if you look at like Beetlejuice, that movie and the musical, it works so well. Like the song Dead Mom, literally one of the best songs on that, or in that musical, I guess. So good. Literally amazing. I love writing dead parents and I love reading about dead parents. I know it sounds so bad. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, YouTube. I don't mean it. I just mean it in tropes. And I also love family drama. I've talked about this on Twitter. I love family drama. Any book that has like dramatics within the family totally works for me. It's also what I write about a lot, and it's kind of like my life experience. I have a very dramatic family, lots of drama, and I love reading and writing about it. It totally works for me. I told you I would circle back around to slow burn, and I just love slow burn relationships. Oh, they just are so beautiful, so well done, typically, I feel like slow burn works so much more for romance than anything like insta love or whatever. Slow burn is where it's at. It's just so good, and like the more excruciating the better. I know it's just like, it sucks to watch your like favorite couple like not get together for so long, but it's so worth it, and it makes everything so much sweeter, so much better. Oh, I love slow burn. I could talk about that forever. It's so beautiful. I don't know why. I think I just really like when characters pine after each other, or they think that like the other person doesn't love them anymore, or it's unrequited or something like that. It's so cute. It's so cute. And I think the last one I'm going to talk about is fake dating. I love fake dating. I love that trope. It works so perfectly. Annalie in Real Life is one of the books that I love that has fake dating, and also To All the Boys I Loved Before. Obviously, I want to read more books with fake dating in them. I also know that one, The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, that has like fake dating in it. That's amazing. Love that as well. So good. I don't know, just fake dating really it works for me. It works for me. I can't explain it. It's amazing. It always just does it, especially when they fall in love. It's just like, so cute, so dramatic. I love it. Okay, so that was my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Also, let me know what tropes you love, and if you love any of the same tropes that I do. Also, feel free to leave some like recommendations down below for me, any of them that have to do with the tropes that I love. I would love to hear about those recommendations. Please put them down below in a comment. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!
Ooh, I thought it'd be me and you.